sweatshirts either.
No. Well, you shouldn't. It's Liverpool Day.
And I wore this last week when they won.
Oh, so you can't ever change it now.
I had to leave it on for every game ever. Who's starting this week?
I can.
Right.
You started last week.
It's a headache day.
Oh.
Okay, I'm freezing.
No. Are you ready?
Yeah. Hey everybody.
Hi.
As you can tell, two things. One, I have a headache today. And B, I'm wearing the exact same sweatshirt as last week, and Gilly approves. Liverpool has a game again. We're playing the same opponents that we played last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's game 2 of the tie.
Oh.
We're up 5-1, so I'm guessing we're playing the kids today, which will be fun.
Yeah.
So because I'm superstitious, I have to wear the same clothes. Yeah, so another week of the Matchbook. And as always, we have cool stuff to talk to you about.
Maybe, hopefully.
Well, hopefully cool. It's usually, I think I know what your number one is, and if it is what I think it is definitely cool.
Well, we'll see.
So, I think Gilly's part of it. I don't know if you can see him because of the microphone.
See his little fur.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So my number one for this week is that yesterday, actually it's taken me a few days
I
because
knew it.
it's so, I don't know, long-winded, but I applied for my cottage kitchen license. So that means I can sell, I think I submitted like 8 recipes.
Okay.
So sourdough bread, jalapeno cheddar salad, sourdough.
Obviously.
That's hard to say. Jalapeno cheddar
Or as
sourdough.
in Generation Kill, they say jalapeno.
Yeah. And some muffins and some other things. So once that goes through, hopefully it does, I can start selling baked goods. And I think the way I'm going to do it is through a website called Hot Plate. So it's basically like a pre-order website so that I don't end up making too much and then having to just give it away. Or eat it.
Or eat it all.
Make it eat it.
Well, you haven't even said what it's going to be called.
So the name of the company or the baking, I don't know, bakery.
Endeavor.
Yeah, is called Riff Raff Baked Goods.
Yes.
And so Tyler dropped everything he was doing yesterday and helped make a logo, of course, which I'm sure will be like right here.
Yeah, we'll put it up there. It turned out cute. I like it a lot.
It's so cute.
And
so
you should, I was gonna say you
the
should
hand
explain.
mixer in the middle is because my dad, growing up, he collected vintage egg beaters, and we had a. Can you see our beam? No, there's a beam right above us in our kitchen here.
Up here.
Yes, and so we had one of those growing up in our kitchen, and my dad lined the entire thing with vintage egg beaters, and so I've started collecting them
You have a
too.
lot.
They're above my baking window.
We'll have to share a photo of it.
Yeah, but that's where that came from, and I'm excited. I have been having so much fun baking sourdough.
And you're really good at it, actually.
It's been getting better and better. I feel like every time I open the oven, I get excited because every time I think maybe it's not going to work this time, and then I'm sure there will be sometimes it doesn't, but it's been getting easier and more relaxing for me. And so I thought I'm baking every day anyway.
Yeah.
I might as well just bake a little extra and
share your goodness with others.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be amazing.
It'll be fun. We're not going to get rich off of it, but or maybe even break even.
But
it'll be fun.
I think also stay tuned, and because we'll share more information. She's also going to start doing some more like videos and content about how she's doing it.
I'm going to try and do that.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at it, but I'm going to work.
You're not really bad at it.
No, I mean I'm bad at like
like remembering to do it.
Actually doing it.
Yeah. But you're really good once you do it.
I get so into the baking that I...
But maybe this will be good. It'll slow you down a little bit. And it'll remind you to find the beauty in each step.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so that
good
was
one.
Fun.
Okay, my number one, I need a prop.
Oh, okay.
Is this.
Oh, What? That's perfect for today.
I know it is. So my number one, this is really heavy, is my old man home oxygen therapy. Home oxygen therapy. I don't know if you can still see it. It's right here. It comes.
Do you want to like act it out?
It comes with a little mask. Ooh, I have to take my glasses off for this part.
Do you?
So you put this on like this.
Oh, and you look so sad.
And it looks so sad. But I want to explain why I do this. And I want to like encourage people to advocate for themselves. So I'm allergic to ibuprofen and NSAIDs. And so when it comes to pain, I don't really have any ways of coping because Tylenol just doesn't do anything. And I get chronic migraines and cluster headaches and tension headaches and stuff. And so they tried to get me on some of the weird chemical ones for migraines, and it must be
Maxalt, I think.
Maxalt, maybe. And it must be an autism thing. But for me, anything that messes with the way my brain produces like serotonin or anything like that just really, really doesn't work. And so for a long time, I just thought it was kind of hopeless. And then I started going down the rabbit hole, and I found that a lot of people were trying and treating it with high flow oxygen. And so I went to my doctor, and at first my doctor was like, that's not going to work, and tried to get me on some drugs. And then I said, I know, but I want to try it. And it took like 3 times. And after the 3rd time, they were finally like, okay, well, it's, you have nothing to lose, so you might as well try it. And I kept wanting to do it because as far as side effects go, it's oxygen. Yeah. There are no side effects. And so I tried it. And honestly, I mean, even today is, proof of
that
how
you're doing this.
The fact that I'm even able to do this. And it's 15 minutes at 15 liters a minute. And it's really inexpensive. Like, I think almost all insurance covers it.
That is huge.
It is
because
huge.
We have terrible insurance. And
yeah,
so...
and it's like $28 a month, and I get 10 tanks every single month, and I could have 20 if I wanted, or 50. And you do need a lot of tanks because you go through it quickly. But it's really turned a lot of things around, and sometimes it takes more than one go at it, but it really has transformed stuff. So if you suffer from headaches and you haven't found stuff that you like or that works, you have nothing to lose. Go to your doctor and say you want to try high flow oxygen. They deliver it to your house. It's amazing. So it's worth trying.
And you get a cool sticker that says
you get a cool sticker that goes on your front door. I think you took that off of our door, though, for your thing. We need to put it back on. Yeah. We don't want someone blasting in here and blowing me up.
We do have a no smoking sign, though.
We do. That's true.
That we stole from a hotel.
It's really cute.
It is cute.
But yeah, so if you do suffer from headaches, I do encourage you to try it because it can get you through days that otherwise you might be bedridden.
Yes.
So that's my
so
number
far
1.
You're still upright.
I know.
That's so good. I'm so glad you shared that. I forgot that you hadn't shared that
I know. You have to advocate for yourself in this world because if you don't, they'll just be like, take this chemical drug that I get money for.
Right.
And not all doctors are like that, but just the way the medical world is set up, it's just incentivizes giving people medicine, and sometimes medicine isn't the right answer. Sometimes it is, but for me, it isn't because I've got a weird brain. All right,
Good.
number 2.
All right, number 2. My number 2, I read really slowly, but I finished What the Wind Knows, and I absolutely loved it. And I've moved on to I don't know if it's The First Bright Thing or A First Bright Thing or just First Bright Thing by J.R. Dawson. It is, I really just started it. So I could be saying this in this week.
A little premature.
And then get into it and be like, oh, wow, this is terrible. But I don't think so. It's really fun. So it's set right after World War I.
Okay.
And it's a magical circus that travels the Midwest.
Say no more.
And the ringmaster and the trapeze artist.
Okay.
Are 2 women who are married, Odette and Rin.
Amazing.
And they also can time jump. It's pretty crazy. There's a lot of things going on, but it's so fun. And so there's like, their relationship is really sweet so far, and there's like a dark looming bad
Like an ominous.
Circus King that they're kind
Whoa.
of alluding to.
Okay.
And they also have time jumped to World War II.
Whoa.
And seen what happens there. And anyway,
wow.
it's really
I'm in.
like wild.
I love
but
it.
fun. Just a complete
First
escape.
Bright Thing.
Yeah, First Bright Thing by J.R. Dawson.
I love a circus book. The Night Circus was
know.
amazing.
Oh, the Night
Water
Circus
for
is so
Elephants
good.
I liked.
Yeah, it just has such a feel.
No.
And this does too. Yeah, it's just really
Awesome.
so far. It's really sweet too.
There's nothing like a good book.
I really like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that there's all these wild things that
Yeah.
they just wrapped them all together and they're like, all right, we're just gonna write this
Throw
book.
it all in.
Yeah,
It's like a stew of sci-fi.
yeah, I love it.
Not really sci-fi. What would you call that?
I don't know, fantasy, yeah,
Fantasy
maybe.
fiction? I guess it's just all fiction. So,
Fantasy,
yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. My number 2 is a video.
Okay.
So I can't show it right now, but I'll show you later. It is called The Paradox of an Infinite Universe. And so there's theories that our universe is in fact infinite, and that there might not be an end to it. It might go on and on and on and on forever. And then that brings up interesting questions. If it isn't infinite, then there's an end. And if there is an end, what's on the other side of that end?
Whoa.
But if it is infinite, the most interesting thing, and you'll have to watch the video because if I just try to explain it, it won't make sense. But when you watch it, it does it in a way that makes it make more sense. Mm-hmm. But the most interesting thing, that if this universe is in fact infinite, and you were somehow to figure out a ship that could travel through it in a quick enough rate that you would still be alive, eventually, if you went far enough and long enough, right now, you would come to you recording this video.
Whoa.
Again, a different you.
What?
Because in an infinite universe, there are infinite possibilities of infinite things. Yeah. And so one of those, it has to be there. You have to be making this video somewhere else in the universe, on another planet, at another time.
What?
This exact you is doing this exact same thing somewhere else in the universe right now.
That's crazy.
And it's really interesting. So the video, I love videos that just show the bigness and the littleness and our place in that. And I love the idea that if you could go travel, you would find everything. Like, there's nothing you wouldn't find.
Like a magic circus.
That's real.
Where they time jump.
Yeah, like that somewhere that is happening, but for real.
That's so cool.
Like Odette and Ren are somewhere in the universe doing that right now.
I love it.
And that book isn't fiction.
I love it.
I know. So the video is really cool. It's weird, but it's a worthwhile watch just to remind us of our place in the universe.
Oh, I love it.
I think our reason I have a headache today is it was so cloudy and windy yesterday, and today there's not a single cloud in the sky, and it's dead calm.
And it's supposed to get really warm here for a couple days.
Pressure headaches.
Yeah.
They're so fun.
It's always for you, or more so when it gets warmer, like fast, than when it gets cold fast.
Yep, it is.
Maybe because so what does that mean? Is the pressure?
I don't know.
It's
changing. Yeah. Well, it's either way. Either time that there's a pressure shift.
More
probably, yeah. Yeah, like when I wake up and it's a sunny day, that's when it's a bad one.
Yeah. Huh.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's all right. Well, I've always hated sunny days, so.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why. All right, number 3.
Number 3. So my number 3 is actually, it's random. It was randomly, I don't know if we've talked about it yet, but we started watching The Gentleman on Netflix, which is really fun.
It is fun.
But what it made me think of and love and just want to rewatch again and again and again is our favorite show. Have we talked about it?
Maybe. I don't know if we've talked about it. I think maybe I've talked about it on a non-video version.
Okay.
Maybe.
I can't
remember. Either way, it's time we refresh people.
We'll just remind people again and again. Because I think we've watched the entire, there's how many seasons? 4?
5 and a Christmas special.
We've watched every season except for the newest one at least twice.
Yeah.
maybe.
At least
because
3
we
times,
always just
probably.
put it on our iPad for flying.
Yeah,
because
I think
it's our
3
favorite.
times.
Yeah, and we're also watching it with the kids, which is it's definitely like borderline not appropriate.
Oh, it's
But-
yeah. I mean, in parts.
Yeah. I mean, but it's not super violent, which I feel like we have this weird thing in the US that you can't show any mention of sex in any way.
Yeah.
No nudity,
Yeah.
but you can show people being killed.
Or like their
and it's
heads
no
being
problem.
chopped off, and that's fine.
And I don't get that, and
I
I've
don't
never
either.
understood
I don't
that.
either.
So the show is called Brassic.
Yes.
It takes place in a tiny little sad town in the UK.
Yes.
And one of the writers of the show is our favorite actor. I always want to say Thomas, but it's Joseph Gilgan. He played Woody in our other favorite show, This Is England,
Which has very similar feelings.
but sadder.
It's much heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brassic is just this show about this small group of friends who do petty crimes because they don't have any money, which Brassic means poor, right?
Yeah,
Or-
like skint. It
Yeah.
means like you just are, yeah.
yeah. So it's on Hulu. The first 3 seasons, I think,
Yeah.
are on Hulu, and it is
If you haven't watched it yet,
Fantastic.
you are in for a treat.
it's ridiculous and like disgusting sometimes.
And hilarious.
But so touching. Like
It
their
is.
friendships are so beautiful.
And it is weirdly not very violent.
It's not. I mean, I said that and then I remembered the episode we just watched with the kids
Oh.
where we were both like, oh shit.
Oh, yeah,
I
that guy's head
forgot."
does get chopped off.
Yep.
That's funny.
But it wasn't like
But it's done in such a way that it's, yeah, you'll see. You
Yeah.
can't really describe it. You just have to watch
it's
it.
wonderful. And The Gentleman is fun too on Netflix, but I feel like
They're
it's
kind of borrowing from
a
Brassic.
little bit. It's like the rich version of Brassic, and it's not as funny and not as
It's great, though.
heartwarming, but it's fun. It just made me like
Miss Brassic.
miss Brassic and fall in love more with Brassic and just
Yeah.
that feel of those friendships.
There's
and
nothing like Brassic.
it's
There really
just
isn't.
so good.
It is
So if
so
we've already
good.
talked about it, sorry, but just
Watch
a
it.
reminder if you haven't watched it,
It's time.
and maybe you'll hate it. And
I don't think anyone will hate it. It's too good.
I mean, our moms would probably hate it
That's probably true.
because it's pretty gross.
It is pretty
at some
gross.
points.
But I love it so
It's
much.
so good.
All right. My number 3 short. It's a article poem. It is Gen Z Beowulf. I showed you the other day.
You read it to me.
I did read it to you the other day. It is so funny. So it's on McSweeney's, which has just the best satirical, like most hilarious writings. Somebody went in and rewrote part of Beowulf in Gen Z slang. And I have a little part written down.
Oh god, yay!
It is so funny. There's like 2 lines and then I skipped and then I have the last line of this part. So I don't know if any of you have read Beowulf. It's amazing. It's an epic poem. It's really hard to read sometimes because of the language it uses. So this guy rewrote it to be Gen Z slang. So
That's
there's a
hilarious.
part that says, "There was Shield Sheafson, chancellor of many tribes, a high-key shredder of mead benches, flexing all over foes." And then it goes on to say, "His riz went viral." Legend. So basically they took this whole massive part of it, and then they even do like a TLDR summary at the bottom.
Oh my
It is
God.
so funny. It's funny because we have teenagers in the house that use a lot of these phrases and words like riz and no cap and all of this stuff, and you're just like, oh my God.
I love it.
It's so funny.
There's just, I don't know, a part of me every time they say stuff like that it doesn't make me angry
No,
at all.
oh,
It just
never. No, it's just
I'm just
funny.
like, oh, I love this. I love that we're in this phase
Yeah.
of life.
Where they think that it's so cool to like say fire and sick and no cap and stuff.
I love it.
So yeah, go read it. It's Gen Z Beowulf. Quick, but it's so funny.
I love it.
That was my number 3.
All right. My number 4, you need to grab the prop.
Oh, cool. What's it gonna be?
My number 4 is a recipe.
Ooh.
And I just wanted to
oh
show
my
you
gosh.
how-
We had one this morning.
I made bagels, and I thought they were going to be difficult, and they were so easy.
And so delicious.
So delicious.
Yeah.
They're like chewy and crisp on the outside and soft in the middle.
And these are not sourdough?
These ones are not.
Oh.
There is a sourdough bagel recipe, but you have to like start it the night before, and I just couldn't be bothered. So I made the regular bagels. And I'll probably try a sourdough bagel recipe, but these ones were so good and so easy. Like there's no ingredients
need to add sourdough
in them. You can do toppings, obviously, or add-ins. Like you could do blueberry ones or cinnamon raisin, all that stuff. I just made plain ones.
Please don't add raisins.
I love raisins.
Raisins are disgusting.
But they're delicious.
They are really good.
And so easy. And it all started because the bagels at Costco, the kids love, but they're $8.
Yeah.
For 2 packages, which I know that
it's
actually is not
much,
terrible. But I was like, man, that just seems like a lot of money for flour and water and salt.
As you say that you're starting your own little bakery.
I know. Yeah, that's true. But not everybody likes to bake.
No, that's a very good point.
So,
that's if you have the ability to make your own at home with less ingredients.
Well, and that's the other thing too about my bakery versus Costco. Everything I make is going to have only like flour, salt, and water, unless they're little toppings. There's not all the preservatives and all the other crap that they put in there. So, anyway, this bagel recipe is amazing.
They are amazing.
And they're easy and fun to make. Perfect. And actually was kind of fun to make.
It looked cool when you were making them too.
So, I'll share the recipe.
Perfect. Yeah. My number 4, another quick one today. Probably because I have a headache.
Yeah.
It is another article, but it's one that everybody needs to read. Okay. It is called "Stop Basing Your Self-Worth on Other People's Opinions." Oh. And it's something that I've talked about a bazillion times on the Signal Fire. I've written articles about it, essays about it, but this goes into some more detail and it dives a little bit deeper. And it is just such a vital read because of my being on the spectrum, I've never cared about anyone else's opinion ever. And I really don't have an ego in that way ever. And I honestly believe that's my number one superpower. It lets me go through life childlike and uninhibited and unembarrassed, and I don't care, and honest. And I see other people who are so bogged down, and they change who they are and how they respond to situations, all based on other people's opinions, or even often the fear of other people's opinions. Because in reality, if they would do the things they want to do and then wait, other people wouldn't even care.
Yeah.
But it's just that fear. And so this article talks about it, and I think it's a really important one because especially in like the social media age, it's so easy to just think that some person sitting somewhere far away from you, their opinion of you has any merit at all, and it just doesn't. And
I need to read that.
You do. And I just think so many people are afraid to be their best version of themselves because of some other person's opinion. And lame. So,
good one.
It's a great article. I'll link to it, but I do, like, if you only read one thing that I share today, probably make it that.
Okay.
Because it's great.
I will read that.
Yeah, good.
Okay. My last one is, it came about because I listened to the beginning of a podcast, which I'm not even sure I'm going to link it because I don't know. Anyway, it was talking about diet culture and just how hard women especially are on their bodies, and talking about how it's really not our fault that we're hard on ourselves. No. It's been just like systemically like drilled into us forever that we are supposed to look a certain way, and now we're supposed to feel guilty if we even think about diets, or I don't know. So the podcast was okay, but more than that, it made me think about and want to share that. I'm just like all the other women, and I've struggled with body image stuff.
Yeah.
And, well, still I do sometimes.
You do still.
But strength training changed my entire life and my entire view on that. And I thought that maybe this would be helpful for someone else to hear. And I think the main thing is that for me, like lifting weights makes me feel really powerful and it makes me happy, and I get excited to lift weights every day.
Yeah, me too.
And I never thought I would be that way. In fact, I remember the first couple times Tyler asked if I wanted to work out with him instead of go for a run in the mountains. I was like, ugh,
never.
No, I will never
touch
that.
a dumbbell in my life.
I hate it. It's so dumb. And then I finally did. And the first couple times I did not like it.
No,
I
you
still would only lift a little bit, and then I would run in the mountains, which I still do love doing that. Running in the mountains is more like mental health for me. It's just a way to like clear my head and be calm. But the weightlifting has completely changed the way I look at food, the way I look at my body, the way I feel about working out.
Yeah.
Like I used to run because I would be like, oh crap, I need to run because I ate this thing, or I haven't been working out enough lately, or blah, 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 blah. But weightlifting for me, it's just something that is so fun. Yeah. And I love it. And I feel really strong.
Well, and instead of like thinking, I have to go lift weights because I just ate this.
Right.
Now it's almost the opposite. Now it's like, oh my God, I got to go eat because I just lifted weights.
I do feel that way.
Yeah.
And I really think about it like not all the time. There are still times where I get hung up. But most of the time now, I'm like, oh man, I just lifted weights. I need to make sure I get enough protein, or I'm starving. I must have had a really good workout today, instead of
and like understanding that you need carbs to deliver the protein, and that's not like something to be afraid of.
Really love carbs, and
I think the timing is really good too, because there's a lot of people talking about it right now after the Oscars.
Yeah. Well, and that was the other thing that like made me think of it and made me listen to that podcast, because I was like, man, we are really back in it again.
I don't know if people watch the Oscars, but I'm not going to speak at length about this, but there is like a big thing, like the people who make Ozempic, they even did a commercial during the Oscars that targeted Hollywood celebrities. And did I show you the commercial?
No.
It literally shows someone setting out their red carpet dress, and it talks about how people in Hollywood who don't need it are hoarding it, and then people with diabetes and obesity who do need the drug aren't able to get it because people are doing it for vanity. And I don't know, there's a lot of people online talking about, if you watch the Oscars, it really did feel like we were back in like 1999. Everybody looked wayfish and really, really, really thin, men and women. And it's because there's just this weird pressure. And it was weird because anytime they showed anybody, man or woman, who looked strong, I was just like, yes. Because I don't know, I feel that way too. Strength is such an important thing. And I don't mean like being a bodybuilder. It's just, it was startling to see how many people were very gaunt. And so this is perfect timing.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. My last one. Another little article, but this one's exciting. The ultimate vacation for every decade of your life.
Ooh.
And so it breaks it down 20s, 30s. So wait, we're
already past, did we do any of them in our 20s and our 30s?
I don't know. I'll have to go look.
Yeah.
But the one that we're at right now.
Okay.
I won't spoil all the other ones for people. But it goes 20, 30, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Okay. So we're in our 40s. So the trip that we are supposed to be planning right now is Machu Picchu. And actually hike up the Inca Trail to the top of it and avoid the crowds by doing the hike. And so apparently for our age, that's like the trip you're supposed to plan. And man, the photo of it just looks gorgeous. I've always wanted to go there.
Yeah, me too.
We will. But yeah, so it's really cool because it breaks it down by decade. Fun. And so if you're in your 20s when you're watching this, there's a certain trip. If you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s.
I'm curious if we did.
I know, we need to look.
Or something similar.
Some variation.
In our 20s or
probably.
30s.
But yeah.
Fun.
That's my number 5.
All right.
And now, That's it. That was all of them.
Now you need to go.
Now I get to
better.
go. I'm going to go take a shower. Maybe that'll help. Hot water usually helps on my noggin.
Yeah. I'm going to go do my sourdough.
Ooh, Riff Raff Baked Goods coming soon. Yeah, we'll post about it. Are you mostly going to probably just post on your Lady Gregson, probably?
Yeah. I have Riff Raff Instagram.
I say save that until it gets to a point where it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe never.
Maybe never.
But Lady Gregson, if you're
That's
not
too many
already
things to
if you're
keep.
not already following her on Lady Gregson on Instagram, and I think you could post on TikTok before it gets canceled out of our country.
I don't know how to do TikTok, but
It's pretty much the same.
okay.
Yeah, so follow her there because there's going to be some more videos and stuff like that. And I'm going to help her film them so she can use both of her cool hands in her videos.
Maybe not today.
Maybe not today. Well, I could probably
I
help
can
you
do
still.
one-handed.
That's true. Yeah, have a cool... Oh, also, we emailed the first winner. We haven't heard back yet. If we haven't heard back by this weekend, we'll email winner number 2 and give you the opportunity to join us next week.
And we heard back from a few people about a retreat. And so mostly everyone was positive about it. So
yeah,
we will start looking into making something happen. This summer might be tight.
Yeah, and we could always try for the fall as well, too. So we'll see.
So we'll just kind of keep working on that.
Yeah. It's good to get feedback, though.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the feedback is like, if people let us know round about what they think their budget would be, because then that can help us tailor it and figure out if it's doable or worth it or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you have thoughts on that, too, for like a 4-day, 3-night Montana-based retreat, if you have thoughts about what that would be valued at, because we're all new to this and we don't want to rip anyone off, but we also don't want to do tons and tons and tons of work and then be like, we made $19.
I mean, if we
We
didn't
just
need
can't
the money,
afford to.
then
Yeah, it's been
we
rough.
would, but-
And on that note, if you know anyone getting married or eloping or needing photos,
please send them our way.
because we need more money. Or if you haven't yet paid and want to be a part of the Signal Fire, I really do think you're missing out. And I really do think that everyone should join.
Yes.
Maybe I'll do like a discount for people to see if they want to try it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Good idea.
All right. Have a rad rest of your day
Have
and
a nice
weekend and
weekend.
root for Liverpool today.
Well, by the time this goes out, the game will be over.
Oh yeah, in an infinite universe, you're already rooting for us. So we love you a lot. We'll see you next Thursday.
Friday.
Damn.
It's a headache day. It's the only thing that balances out. I can keep up with you on your headache days.